You're listening to the Hustled Up Podcast. I'm Laura Natoli.
And I'm Holly Silva, and we are best friends since birth turned multi-passionate entrepreneurs and co-owners of Chores and More, a successful service-based business where everybody is treated like a best friend.
Welcome to our show where tactical business education meets fun and real conversations about this wild journey called life.
Get ready to be inspired. Grab your headphones, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up. Hello, Hustled Up fam. I'm having a brain fart. Sorry.
Hello.
This is why we can't do Monday morning recordings. Like, we just can't. My brain is not fully on yet. Like, I need time to gather my bearings. And my bearings are ungathered. Consider my bearings very far apart, not gathered all over the place, okay? Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Hustled Up. We are your hosts. My name is Holly.
And my name is Laura.
And we are so excited to be back. We took a week off. We were planning on promoting old episodes, but life was lifing, and we're back and strong and ready. If you have not listened to any of our old episodes, you should still do so because they're really good. But we're going to dive into a whole new thing today, keeping it very light today. We're just going to talk about a super fun event that we put on. But before I jump into that, I do want to remind you, as always, if you love what you are hearing, please leave us those 5 stars. Leave us a love letter on Apple Podcasts, or if they let you leave a review on another platform, we would love and appreciate that. Thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us and so much more. All right, we're going to jump into today's topic. And like I said, it's not really a crazy one. It's light. It's a light topic. We just wanted to update you guys and kind of show you how collaboration can really do really fun, awesome, like needle moving things for your business. We partnered up with a local cleaning company, and believe it or not, our service areas overlap. So we are considered competitors. But we partnered up with them. We've been friends with them for a long time now. And she had this crazy idea, one of the owners of the other service. She was like, let's bring our employees together and like have like a self-development day. And at first I was like, no.
Holly was not about it. She was like, I don't know about this.
I was like, it doesn't sound good. But we ended up rolling with the punches and we did it, and it was so fun. So today we're going to talk all about it. We're going to cut to the commercial super quick. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Are you tired of spending your entire weekend cleaning when you could be going out to brunch with your girls?
First of all, I love brunch. And second of all, yes, there are so many things I could be doing instead of cleaning my house on the weekend.
Oh yeah, like playing video games.
Or watching a movie with the kids.
Going on a date with your significant other.
Taking your dog to the dog park.
Going to the movies.
Solving world hunger.
Yes! Exactly. So this is why it is such a good idea to call up Chores and More for your deep and recurring cleaning needs.
And do you want to know something really, really cool?
What?
If anybody mentions Hustled Up when they call to book, they can receive up to $100 off their deep cleaning.
Up to $100 off. What are you doing still sitting there? Pick up the phone now, mention our podcast, and never have to spend your weekends cleaning again.
Simply go to choresandmorellc.com. You can fill out a request quote form there, or give us a call, send us a text, 631-397-0177. It is time to get back to doing the things you love. Let us take care of the cleaning. Welcome back. It seems so weird to say that. Like, we've been gone for a minute, okay? Welcome back, okay? So about this event, it was super duper fun. And like I said, we met our friends Kenya and Armando, I think 2 years ago at this point, or ish, something like that.
Yeah.
And our relationship has really just grown and grown, and we've really appreciated each other. They call us their sister company, which I love. They've sent us employees, well, potential like candidates. They've sent us clients. We've sent them clients. Like, you know, it's great having people that you can trust in your industry, because sometimes we're not always able to take on a job, for example, or they're also slightly out of our service area. Like, they cover some areas that we don't cover. So we're able to pass along people to them and know that they're in good hands. So it's really important to have people that you trust and that you know and that you form relationships with. And all that being said, I was still hesitant when Kenya brought this idea of having an event to us because the thought of having all of our employees together seemed a little nerve wracking. What if and I had all these crazy thoughts. What if our employees don't love us and they want to go work with them? And you have all these crazy thoughts. But when you are truly in a relationship, like a networked relationship with somebody you trust, you don't have to worry about things like that. It was just me being me and being nervous. And, we're loyal to each other, and that's so important. But also to another degree, we know that our employees are loyal to us. We have very loyal employees. We take care of them really, really well. So there's really no reason to have to be fearful of any issues there. So she had this idea to have something called Cleaners Connect. That's what she named it, where we would bring our staff together into a space and kind of work, maybe give some motivational talks. And her goal was to kind of show our staff that they're not alone in this industry, that they, really, their work really is so important. What they do is so important, and that we are truly changing lives in the cleaning industry. And so that was kind of the main goal. So she threw this idea to us and she said, let's have our coach, Beth, who definitely will be on the show soon. We're working on it. She's a busy lady, but we will have her on. She's the coach that we are always talking about. She's our mentor. We've been seeing her personally for over a year now. She came over from Pennsylvania. We're on Long Island. So she drove, I think it was 3.5 hours, she said, over to meet our staff, talk to them, tell them her story, and just kind of lift them up. And it was honestly an amazing day. So we kind of wanted to just talk about that. So Laura, why don't you start off by telling everybody, maybe, I don't know, give them your feedback on it and what you got from it.
Yeah, I got a lot from it, honestly, because I was a little hesitant. I was like, okay, I think this sounds like a good idea. I did have similar feelings to you as but I feel like because we can trust Kenya and Armando so much, I really didn't have that feeling. I was like, I'm not worried. They're not trying to poach our employees. If they had said, let's open this up to a bunch of companies, then maybe I would have felt a different type of way. But I was just really excited to have the opportunity to also show our staff that we're investing in them, because this was all paid for out of pocket. Us and our fellow friends, Kenya and Armando, paid for this whole event, so it was an expense. And it was just nice to pour back into them and show them, hey, we want to invest in you, and we want to show you that you care and that you matter. And it's also just nice sometimes to hang out with your staff outside of a work environment. Because, let's be real, we want to keep a profesh. We always keep a profeshy. But I feel like events like this or a company barbecue, it's so nice to get to hang out with them and spend time with them. That's not at a meeting. That's not during work hours. They get to come in their regular street clothes, show a little personality, more of a relaxed space. So it was just nice to spend time with them in that relaxed space. And also just to have them meet our coach and mentor was honestly probably my favorite part because, we're always talking about cleaning business fundamentals. We're always talking about our coaches and Coach Beth in particular. So it was so special for me to have them meet Beth and also for Beth to meet them, because she came up to us and she had told us some really wonderful things about our staff. This person's going to be your next day player. This person really values you guys as bosses. I can tell this person really loves their job. It was just really nice for her to get a chance to meet them, for them to meet her. And honestly, the whole day was just great. I feel like we just vibed really well. The one thing I will say, if I have to critique anything, was I would want more interaction, and I don't know if that would be through more games or more activities. I feel like I would like more interaction between our two companies, because one of the points of the event was to kind of get the two companies together. But I feel like, we have some shy people on our staff. They maybe had some shy people. So I did notice, which I figured would happen. Our company kind of stayed together, sat together. Their company kind of did the same thing. So maybe some more intermingling, because we did play a few games that got people up on their feet and talking. But I think I would want a little more of that to really force them to kind of mingle and speak to the other company.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I will say, so the way we structured Cleaners Connect was that we had everybody come in, they mingled for a while, had coffee. We put out some fruit and some what is it called, like continental
Like croissants.
breakfast,
Yeah.
continental breakfast items. So they were able to come in and kind of just talk, but again, as Laura said, the mingling happened, like our company kind of stuck together and theirs kind of stuck together. And then Laura put on some super fun games, but they're not super long, and I think that they could have went a little bit longer. They were really fun though, and I actually got to learn a lot about our staff with those games. They were super duper fun, and we can definitely show you guys how they were if you ever want to know. You can always ask us. And then I gave a little speech, which was so fun. Oh my gosh, it was like my first time like ever giving like a public like motivational speech kind of thing, and I loved it. And I was like, "This is my calling. I need
Yeah,
to do
Beth
it
was
more."
like, have you taken professional classes? Like, Beth was floored that Holly's never taken professional classes. She was like, you did all the things that they tell you to do
Yeah, I know.
in public speaking classes. She was
She
like,
did.
what?
She was gassing me up hella hard. I felt
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. And then obviously Beth gave a speech. Now I think, and then we had like some downtime during when we put out lunch. We put out some like mini bagels and salads and stuff, which was great. Um, I think that more structure and just more of those games and like more ways to like kind of force them out of their comfort zones would have been really, really helpful. We had
Yeah.
planned on the event taking a full 4 hours, but it only went until I think only 2 or 2.25 hours. Like it ended up finishing up very early because we just didn't like prepare enough. But again, this was like a trial run, and we kind of just did this on the fly. Like kind of like we planned it in advance, but like we didn't fully know like what we were even wanting to do, almost like kind of like we knew what the goal was, but like we tried to structure it as best we could, and that was pretty much as far as it went. So
Yeah, not bad for like a first time. And I feel like that's another important lesson here is just to go for it because we had no idea how this would be taken by our staff. We didn't know how it would go. We didn't know if people would enjoy it, but we got really positive feedback from our staff members that were there. We didn't have every single person there as we actually didn't make it mandatory for our staff to come, whereas the other company decided that they were going to make it mandatory. But the people that showed up loved it. We said, do you guys want to do this every year? They said, yes, absolutely. So the fact that they volunteered their time to be there and just enjoyed it, I'm like, okay, now that we did it once, we got like, the nerves and all the kinks worked out. Now I feel like we could put on like an even more banging event next year.
for sure. And maybe invite outside companies, but again, we want to make sure we really have trust with people. We think that that's really important. But Kenya definitely has dreams of grandeur, and she wants to make it like a big annual thing. And they did love it, and I think it. For us, it was a good almost not test. I don't want to say test, but like it really did show Laura and I who really does care about this industry and their job and our company. And not to say like the people who didn't come don't care, but the people who came, there was like definitely a special connection shared between all of us. They got to hear some of my story because my speech was a very vulnerable one that honestly the other techs who didn't show, they didn't get to hear that part. And there was just an extra special level of bonding there. We even had one of our new girls who's only been with us for a month say, um, we were talking about doing it every year, and she was like, oh, I'll be there. And like that was like so like I was like, I'm so moved right now. I was like almost in tears, like thinking about like the fact that she plans on really giving us like a long time, and she sees something in us, and it makes us feel like we're doing something right also. So it was not only like us taking care of them or trying to show them that we care, but really they like it was them showing us that they care and that they want to take care of Laura and I as well. And I think that just there was really something special there, that I'll forever be grateful for with the people who did show up.
Yeah, I totally agree. It earned them some brownie points. I'm not gonna lie. Like the people that showed up, they got some brownie points with us, which
They did.
it never hurts to get some brownie points with your bosses.
Yeah, it's really important. And I mean, we've said it a million times on this show. It's so important to like your company culture is one of the most important things in your business, because your employees are what keep your business growing, and getting new employees and retaining employees is how you're going to grow your business and grow it bigger and bigger and bigger. And so if you're not going out of your way, I mean, paying them good money obviously is like the motivator, right? For like everybody, I'd say. But a good paying job with like crap company culture, you're not gonna retain employees that way. But going that extra mile for them, and also just developing them, like this was also kind of a way for self development. And I think we could kind of hit that a little bit harder next year with
Yeah.
maybe some workshops or things like that. This was more motivational than like tactical, if that makes sense. But either way, we were able to tell them like, you can accomplish anything if you set your mind to it, and if you work together. And my talk was a little bit about how teamwork makes the dream work and all of that stuff. And it's just important to develop them. It keeps them motivated, it keeps them encouraged, it keeps them putting out good work. It makes them feel better about themselves. So there's like honestly no reason not to. And I mean, even if you don't want to partner up with another company to do something like this, I think it's such a great idea, and it's something unique, and something that probably a lot of, especially in the cleaning industry and in the service-based industry, a lot of people probably aren't really doing. I mean, I'm sure in corporate you probably have self-development stuff and workshops and whatever, probably. I don't even fully know. I didn't have any in the corporate jobs I worked at, but I digress. But it's something really, really unique to our industry that you can do, is like just, show them some love for a day, and feed them, show them you love them, bond with them, motivate them, encourage them. I think
Yeah.
there's no reason not to. It's such a good idea, and I love Kenya for like bringing this to our attention. And even though I was hesitant, I'm so glad that we did it. And we were extra rewarded after the fact, because our coach Beth actually stayed for a while, and she came and took a look at our office, and she was like, again, gassing us up. I was so inflated. Is that the word? Like
Yeah.
my head was inflated. I was
Your
like,
head was gonna explode.
I was like, yeah, I'm a boss lady. I got it all together. I don't, but she didn't have to know that. But that happened. And then we got to see Kenya in Armando's new office, which was also super nice. And then we all went out to dinner, and Laura's boyfriend came, and my boyfriend joined us as well. And they got to connect with Beth on like a deeper level too, because, we obviously, our relationship has grown with our coach. Like, it's very strong. And even having her give her talk, like, we connected in ways that I didn't anticipate. And so it was just overall a very, very rewarding day. And if you're not like networking with people in your industry, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's like you got to get in the room with people who are at the level that you want to get to. And we talk about this a lot, but it's so true. Don't ever think that you're too small of a fish to talk to the big fish. No, get in that room. And also, I think going back to the cleaning industry specifically, like you said, Holly, why it's so important to do these things, I think for two reasons. Because for us, we work solo. And I know that a lot of cleaning companies do work solo. So this job can be very lonely for the technicians. I know for deep cleanings, initial cleanings, they pair up, which again, get them together and bond. They're going to kick ass even more at those group cleanings. But for a lot of our techs, they're not seeing anybody day in, day out, and it can get very lonely. So I think group gatherings are extra important for us for the loneliness factor, but also because, let's be real, we talk about this all the time, the cleaning industry is considered bottom of the barrel. It's always been like that. I do think I am seeing more of a shift more recently, where people are not looking at physical manual labor jobs as beneath them, but for many years, we were looked down upon. Oh, just a cleaning lady, just a cleaning tech. No, it doesn't matter that we're not corporate. It doesn't matter that we're not white collar. We need to always be developing. Your employees need to be always developing, so I think that for our industry in particular, this is just so, so important and so valuable. And more people in more industries need to be doing something like this to really show your employees how special that they are and that they're worth it. At the end of the day, that's our why for this. The whole theme of the event was you matter. you make a difference, and just showing them that they are worth it and that they do matter is just so important. I do think that this could grow into a bigger thing. We would just have to vet those other companies first.
I know they'll need to fill out an application and sit down for an interview, like as if we're hiring
What are your
them.
core values?
Yeah.
What do you believe in?
Exactly. Yeah, I think I agree with everything you said. And one of our girls also said, which I don't know if you even heard this, Laura. I heard it, and I ate it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that day.
Ooh, tell me.
She said, she was like, I never looked at like working for a cleaning company as a career. But I see now that like this really could be something. And I was like, yeah, girl, it can. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Like we don't pay out benefits yet or anything like that, but we do PTO and we do all these other things. And the pay is really, really good. Like we've really upped our pay to a point where they're making so much money, and there are promotional opportunities, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be a career. I mean, when I worked for a corporate office, I actually got less than they get here. I got less sick time. I got less of everything. So, honestly, there's no reason why your business can't be somebody's career. Like why a job opportunity that you're offering can't be somebody's career and be the thing that really changes their life. And I think a lot of people in our industry have limiting beliefs that like, it's just a cleaning service. Like this isn't a career, but no, people do this for years and years and years and they love it. Ashley has been with us for 5 years. She's doing literally every single role in this company you can think of. But, she makes great money with us. She's getting promoted. And we have a couple other people who have been with us for a long time. They're getting promotions. They're getting into deep clean specialists and things like that. So, it's really, why not? Why not a career?
I think because of the stigma. I think that's where it comes from. I really do. I think the stigma makes it not a career. Oh, this is a temporary job. This is for now job until you get your career. But no, there's a lot of money to be made here. And in blue collar jobs specifically, where, I think that people are starting to broaden their horizon and not let those stigmas affect them. So I love that. I'm like, I need to know who said that. I freaking love that. Like, that is the goal too. That is our goal to, our goal is to serve our employees and be there for them and be, a soft place for them to land, whether, we're a lily pad for them until they do go to their career, or more of what we want is for you to be with us till you die. Let's be real. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I want you here as long as you can.
I know. I selfishly get so mad when, people leave for a job in their dream field or whatever, but I'm happy for them. But there are others who come in and they're like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and you guys are treating me really well, and you're paying me good. You're showing me that you care. You're amazing bosses. I mean, too many, like, even in small businesses, too many bosses treat them like they're ants on an anthill. They treat them like they're expendable, and that you can't treat them like that. You have to, like, your employees are your number one customer in your business. Your number one customer. So doing these little things, and it wasn't super expensive putting on this event, but you don't have to get rent. We rented like a little place, and we didn't spend too much money on food or anything, but like there are ways to cut costs and stuff like that. But I think having those little self-development things and just taking them outside of work, I think they're really important. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. And so if you're not doing that, something to reflect on.
Yeah.
If you're just doing maybe a holiday party that feels obligatory, like that's a great place to start. But think outside the box. And it's also okay to ask your techs, hey, what would you want to do? What would interest you? Would a barbecue interest you? Would some self-development classes? Would bringing in an expert on how to buy your first home interest you? Like, ask them, engage with them. We're always asking our employees for feedback and ways we can make this job better. So don't be afraid to give that feedback. And if your employees feel comfortable enough to give you feedback, it means you're doing a great job and they feel safe to do that.
Yeah.
So don't stray away from that.
For sure. And I do want to just end this with this point. And I kind of said it already, but it's important to remember it. Putting yourself in these situations where your employees can join you, they can give you feedback, they can connect with you, and all of these things. It's going to develop you as a leader. And that's really important. So, like, even though this event was technically put on for them, I took so much away from it that day. I'm telling you, I was on like on an emotional high just all day, all weekend long, because I took away so much and my heart was so full. And it really does teach you, like, it taught me what they appreciate in me as a leader. And it taught me to be vulnerable in front of them, which is something I struggle with them. I typically wear my heart on my sleeve, but as like a business owner and as the boss, I'm not very good at that. So it's teaching me to be more vulnerable. It's teaching me to, work on bonding with them on a deeper level than just cleaning or work, So you're going to take away a lot from it too if you start doing things like this, and it's going to help develop you as a leader, which is going to take your business to the next level.
Period. Nothing to input. That was gorgeous.
All right, bye. No.
that was gorgeous. But yeah, it was great, and we'll definitely be sharing throughout the week. I think we already shared on our Instagram a video of the event, so definitely go check that out so you can get a little sneaky peeky about what it was like. We can definitely share some of the games we played with you if you're interested in doing these games with your team, because it doesn't have to be at a big event. You could do games or, little fun activities like this just at a monthly staff meeting. It doesn't have to be something crazy. So we can definitely share those with you as well if you're interested.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. So in the meantime, we still want you guys to submit your business problems. I don't know if you guys listened to the episode 2 weeks ago, but we have been solving a problem in like real time kind of, and we broke it down and talked about it right here on the podcast, which was great. And then we asked you guys if you had like any kind of like situations, problems, issues that you just kind of need help breaking down. And we want to do that right here on the podcast. So you can go to hustleduppodcast.com and you'll see like where you can submit that. You can also just drop a DM at Hustled Up Podcast on Instagram or leave a comment somewhere. Where honestly, wherever you can even drop us an email, hustleduppodcast@gmail.com. Submit those business problems so that we can start having some fun with them. It's my favorite thing to do. Break them down.
I like nerd out about that. I'm like, yes, tell me your deepest, darkest problem.
Yes, tell me. Spill the tea, sis. I need to know. So definitely make sure you do that. And if you want to connect with me in the meantime, I don't remember my handles. I'm at Planning and Polish somewhere. I'm at Holly and Silva somewhere. You can find all my links in the description below. You can also find them in the show notes at hustleduppodcast.com. So you feel free to connect with me on any of my platforms.
Yes, and as always, I'm boring. Just at Laura Anatoli on all the platforms. Go check me out. It's mostly cat videos and cat pictures. It's fine. And also, if you want to connect with us on our business page at Chores and More, Instagram, TikTok, go check it out. We are running a killer sale, by the way. I do have to shamelessly plug this. Killer sale for the month of August. You get $150 off of a deep cleaning. So if you need a deep cleaning or you know somebody who's in need of one, hit us up before August is over to take advantage of these amazing deals. Back to school specials. If you're local. I always forget that, like, this is a podcast and other people might be far away.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know.
I'm sure majority of our listeners are local anyway, so it's fine.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, please connect with us online. We would love to hear from you, and go have a kick-ass week.